allowed to witness the phoenix rising. That one is up to us. Phyllis Tickle, The Farm in Lucy, Easter, 2004. Introduction. My birth name always felt alien to me. It was difficult to pronounce, difficult to spell, and I was named after someone I never really wanted to be. That's why, at a crucial point in my counseling, I asked my therapist if he would be willing to rename me. He was honored and spent some time in the baby section of a local bookstore, looking up meanings and definitions, his eyes growing bleary with the choices. A few sessions later, he handed it to me somewhat anticlimactically on a sheet of paper. Renée. I am able to write this book, partly because that is my new name. I haven't used any of my birth names for years. They've all been legally changed, written over with a new arrangement of vowels and consonants, scrubbed clean of any association with the past. It was a bit like coming back to life again, being given that new name. It meant a fresh start, a new chance, a hope of finding myself brave after many years of fear and trembling. Renée Altson. Renée at stumblingtowardfaith.com. Stumbling Toward Faith. Chapter 1. I grew up in an abusive household. Much of my abuse was spiritual, and when I say spiritual, I don't mean New Age, esoteric, random mumblings from half-Wiccan hippie parents. I don't mean that I grew up thinking all the wrong ideas about religion or what it meant to be saved because I was given too much freedom or too many options. I don't mean that my father protested the phrase "under God" in the Pledge of Allegiance or told me there was more than one way to heaven. I mean that my father raped me while reciting the Lord's Prayer. I mean that my father molested me while singing Christian hymns. I mean that there was one way, that I was literally under God, and that I could never escape my sinfulness. Never. My father corrupted nearly every single thing that, in my deepest moments of belief, I see that God created for good or for righteousness. He did it slyly, without my even realizing it. He did it deliberately, without regret. He fully convinced me that God was on his side, that I was bad, that I was lucky to be loved by God, by him, by anyone, and that I was to blame for things no child, nobody, should ever be blamed for. I had a strange sense of power because of this. I was terrified of God, yet I felt more powerful than God at the same time. My dad told me that if the sun didn't come out in the morning, it was because it, the sun, didn't want to look at your ugly face. So I felt more powerful than the sun, but I felt powerless under the weight of my father's body. I made wagers, but never followed through on my agreements. I dared God to kill me. It would have been a welcome relief. I embraced fundamentalism. It was familiar. It fit in with my self-blame and, to some extent, my overblown sense of power. I wandered through various religions, particularly the ones with strict rules and definitive boundaries. I was baptized a Mormon, a Jehovah's Witness. I flirted with Scientology. In the end, I came to one conclusion. The warm acceptance I felt in each of these groups was there only because I was conforming to that group's ideals. The people loved me only because they had to, because it was written in their religion that they treat others well. They had faith in me only because I shared their faith too.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.